Hello everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to have another collaboration. This time it is with Chura Mura and OkiLife, and we're going to be going and doing a beach cleanup together. But there's something really important I want to focus on in this video, and that is incineration versus recycling. Before we get too far into it, if I talk a little bit too fast for you, there are two things you can do. You can read the blog post version of this video, link down below, or you can change the speed of this video using the gear icon right down here. Now, why do I want to talk about incineration versus recycling? And that is because Japan incinerates most of their waste. So they do their best to still recycle things like metal, glass, paper, and other valuable materials like that. But since plastic doesn't really have a market for recycling, Japan just incinerates all or most of it, as well as their landfill waste. And so incineration is just like it sounds. It is burning their waste. But incinerators are created to have a very small environmental footprint because, you know, if you think of like burning a bunch of plastic, you think of all those chemicals going into the air, but the incinerators are designed to keep that stuff out of the air at least as much as possible. And so I'm talking about this today because there's actually going to be a small incinerator on site at the beach cleanup, and I'm so excited to get to explore it. Before we actually head there, I want to touch on a few important things here. So the incinerator that we're going to be exploring today will take 30 kilograms of waste and turn it into just 1 kilogram of waste. So it can reduce the stuff going to landfill by 29 times. I think I did my math right. Plus, oftentimes large-scale incinerators will repurpose the gas coming out of the material that it's burning and then repurpose that into energy instead of having to use fossil fuels. Incineration is also really cool because, as we can see today, people can buy their own small incinerators and get rid of their waste or reduce their waste, like physically. Now, I know it's probably really expensive and it's not like in anybody's budget. I explored recycling paper. I'll leave that video linked up here at home, which is really cool, but you can't recycle things like metal, glass, and plastic in your house. I don't think so. That sounds way too complicated. So why is incineration so popular in Japan? That's because of the size of Japan. If you didn't know, Japan is relatively small country-wise when it comes to land. So for a quick comparison, the US has about 326.7 million people and Japan has about 1/3 of that, roughly 120 million people. But Japan is 26 times smaller when it comes to land mass. Unfortunately, we have plenty of land in the US to just bury our waste, out of sight, out of mind, who cares? But Japan doesn't have that precious land to spare. So they came up with the method of incineration. I mean, I don't think it was actually invented in Japan, but it's become very popular in Japan. Burning our waste in general in any country can also be really handy when it comes to handling hazardous materials like syringes, blood, other things like that. And you don't have to be concerned about these hazardous things ending up in our air because of things like scrubbers and filters. They are added to the combustion process to reduce the air quality impact. And we'll even see this today with the incinerator we're going to be exploring. It has a lot of filters and scrubbers on it to keep all that stuff out of the air. Plus, the high temperature of incinerators actually reduces the toxicity of disposal and even kills any disease pathogens. And like I already mentioned, the good news here too is they're not just going to incinerate everything. They're going to still do their best to recycle things like glass, metal, and paper. But like we learned about in my Where Does Our Plastic Go video, plastic is actually so much cheaper to dispose of and make from virgin materials than it is to recycle it. It's very expensive to recycle plastic, so that is why a lot of places these days are just burning it. But something we can do about that is to support plastic recycling. If you have the choice between buying virgin plastic and recycled, go for that recycled plastic so that way the market knows recycled plastic is really in demand and not virgin plastic. So incineration isn't a perfect option, but like we've learned in my recycling series, recycling isn't perfect either. So that's what I'm hoping to explore today, kind of get more of a sense of why incineration is better than recycling and things like that. I think incineration is great because it can help produce more energy sources when recycling can't do that. Not to mention incinerating saves so much valuable landfill space. So let's head to the beach cleanup. We're gonna talk to the host of Chura Mura and OkiLife, get to know more about their channels, their organizations, and then learn more about incinerators as well. I hope you're ready for this beach cleanup. I'm so excited. Let's go.
collaborative effort from Chura Mura, the Coastal Conservation Agency, and the Chiri Mesa, what do we call it? The portable incinerator machine. This is probably one of the first of this kind in the world, where we burn the trash that we pick up right on the beach. This doesn't happen anywhere else. This is an amazing machine that doesn't create any toxins, dioxins, fumes and smoke, and so it's quite a remarkable piece of equipment, and we're glad they're able to come and help us with this. It's actually more ethical than burning your trash at the local incinerator, the disposal methods they use. So we appreciate them coming here. This is the third time we've been able to do this together, and we're looking forward to do many more in the future. We work really hard to keep Yomitan clean. We're based here in Yomitan, but we also spread out to other communities as well, such as Ishikawa and Onnason, anywhere that needs help. A lot of trash gets collected on these north-facing beaches, as well as a lot of dead turtles, which we are busy going around and examining, try to figure out the cause of death in hopes of being able to conserve them a little better. The protection is what we're all about. During the summer, we take care of a lot of the turtle nests, so thank you all for coming. Please keep an eye on any updates through our social media, etc. And we also like to thank our other sponsors, the American Chamber of Commerce here in Okinawa. President is here on hand, Mr. Tony. Thank you for your support. We have water donations, and we couldn't do it without your help. So we're going to take a quick photo and then get something yummy to eat. But thank you all again, and look forward to seeing you at the next one. Alright, my name is Carl Bastian. I represent the Chura Mura NPO group here in Yomitan, which is basically about protecting and conserving the sea turtle populations here. Obviously, ocean trash is a big part of sea turtle conservation, so that's what we're doing here today, trying to pick up the trash and so that it doesn't go back out into the ocean in the next storm or high tide, and hopefully, you know, the idea is to increase the survivability of the sea turtle population, which are on the United Nations red list of critically endangered animals here.
Hey, I'm Jason from OkiLife. This is our monthly beach clean initiative. We hustle around and help Chura Mura every month. This is, I think, our 5th month running with this, and the goal is to raise awareness, to get the community together with the end goal of making a sanctuary for sea turtles here in Okinawa. So come on out.
Thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, learning more about incineration versus recycling, getting to know more about Chura Mura and OkiLife. Thank you guys so much for being in collaboration with me on this video. I was so excited to do this one. Something else to know when it comes to beach cleanups, a lot of beach cleanups around here will pass out single-use gloves and individual plastic bottles for people to drink. Obviously, hydration is important, but I really loved how Chura Mura and OkiLife went about this. They encourage people to bring their own reusable gloves, and then instead of passing out individual little bottles of plastic water, they instead get these huge jugs for people to refill their waters. So they reduce a lot of waste in that way, because it's not just important to clean up the beaches, it's also important to reduce the waste we produce so that it doesn't keep ending up on the shores in the first place. Cleanups are great, but reducing our waste is just as important. I really appreciate your time, especially if you made it all the way to the end. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It's something a little bit different than what I normally do. If you like this type of video, of course, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it, and let me know if you want to see more videos like this. But that is all I have for today. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, remember that these small changes you make have a big impact in the long run. Bye, guys. Incinerators are Not to mention the high temperature of incinerator machines, incinerators, just call them incinerators. But something we can do about that is to support plastic. Okay, this will be at the end, future me.